Good morning. We would like to thank the scientific committee for the opportunity to present this work titled XR in Serious Games, an application on Palazzo Barberini. The contribution we are sharing is the result of work sessions led by the group of professors in visual communication and visual culture, conducted during the first year of doctoral program in History, Representation and Restoration of Architecture at Sapienza University of Rome, which is dedicated to training. The architectural object selected as a case study is Palazzo Barberini in Rome. The primary goal of the project is to communicate and disseminate specific knowledge about the architecture of the palace. The target audience consists of children aged 8 to 11, and therefore the medium identified for this purpose is the serious game. A series of interactive and playful experiences enhances the effectiveness of communication. Today's focus is on the graphical construction process of the serious game, with a particular attention to providing a faithful and consistent representation of the architecture, regardless of the graphical techniques employed. The methodology used involves starting from a basic dataset obtained through digital surveying techniques, both image-based and range-based, historical analysis, and the study of graphic references useful in defining the style of the video game environments. The serious game is positioned within the context of visual culture and visual communication and must incorporate engagement strategies and edutainment objectives. The outputs we have designed fall within the realm of XR technologies, an application for portable devices, the use of virtual reality with spherical environments, and augmented reality to be employed in situ. After defining the educational and gameplay objectives, a game flowchart was created to outline the various player activities. The game is structured into two interconnected parts tied together by the storyline. One part played remotely and the other on-site. This approach expands the potential audience and attracts new tourists to the site. The most substantial part of the project concerns the representation of architecture. Specifically, we asked ourselves, how can we treat architecture so that it is not merely a background evoking a place, but rather communicates the geometric, spatial and formal characteristics of the building in an interactive way. We decide to represent the architecture as a diorama, using digital watercolor techniques to capture both material and immaterial characteristics of the place. From the laser scanner survey, slices were extracted based on the number of bays that determine the depth of the space. Each slice was simplified without losing the main elements of the architectural order. This is the graphical result of our experimentation. Another type of visualization involves virtual reality, allowing navigation within a spherical panorama using a camera and a manual panoramic head. Several photographs were taken to create an equirectangular image. A first modification of the image using photo editing software allowed the alignment of the panorama with the overall graphical style. The stylized rectangular image was then exported as a cubic image, and each frame was modified using artificial intelligence to redraw the architecture and complete the missing parts. This is the graphical result of our experimentation. Here we can see a simulation of the user's navigation within the game, as well as the functioning of the game mechanics. To make the most of the immersive experiences provided by the spherical panorama, users will have the option to use cardboard viewers or VR headset for virtual reality viewing. In this mode, the player can collect hidden objects by hovering over them with a pointer positioned at the center of the view for 5 seconds. A final application involves the design of an augmented reality output to be used on site. Through recognition of targets, the sculptural apparatus on the ground floor interacts with the player, providing tidbits of information that, within the game dynamics, are not an end in themselves, but are necessary for the completion of the game. The representation of architecture in a serious game should be more than just a graphic illustration. It needs to ensure historical and formal accuracy so that users can learn from the images. Creating the graphical elements for a serious game should involve a diverse team, including not only engineers, game designers and developers, but also architects who can help ensure the images are both effective and accurate. Furthermore, modern techniques of acquisition and representation in architecture applied within the realm of serious games serve as a valuable support for making environments interactive and transforming them from mere backdrops into integral components of the gameplay.